And the next C that I'm going to talk about is core competence. Core competence. Now, I want you to understand this from the story of Mordecai. And the Bible says in Esther chapter 2, verses 21 and 22. When I teach corporate professionals, when corporate professionals invite me, this is one passage I invariably take them to. And this is very, very important. Esther chapter 2, 21 and 22. Esther chapter 2, 21 and 22. Talking about core competence. That's the next C. Core competence. Esther 2, 21 and 22. The Voice version says, one day when Mordecai was at the gate, Bigthan and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs who guarded the door, were plotting to kill King Ahasuerus. They were angry over some matter, but Mordecai learnt of their plan and reported it to Queen Esther, who told the king about it, giving credit to her cousin. So what is Mordecai's core job? Mordecai's core job, is not refusing to bow to Haman. I want you to understand. Mordecai's core job is not refusing to bow to Haman. So sometimes we misunderstand what our core job is. When we, as believers, work in companies, we think our core job is to give a Bible to our boss during Christmas. We must do it. In fact, I do it all the time. But that's not our core job. We think our core job is to pray for our company when our company is facing the real danger of being shut down because of competition from a rival company. So maybe there's a meeting and then your boss says, knowing that you're a believer, says, okay, you come on, why don't you pray? That's not our core job. We must do it. We must not shy away from it. I'm not denying that. Our core job is what our company pays us to do. And are we good at that? Do we show core competence in that? Okay, here Mordecai was paid to stand at the gate and report suspicious activity. Report activity that would put the king's life in danger, or activity that will put the kingdom's interests at danger. And he was faithful. He was absolutely faithful. Esther chapter 2, 21 and 22. He heard about a plot to kill the king, and he reported that matter. He was good at his core job. So no matter what your core job is, try to be good at it. Work at it. So my job in HSBC was to collect auto loan, the auto loan that our bank's customers had to pay back. Okay, these were all American customers, so we were sitting in India talking to them. They'd taken a loan from our bank, and I had to call them up and remind them of the payment and if possible collect it. So I would ask, can you pay that today? How much can you pay today? Can you pay that today? So I needed to discourage procrastination. And I was taught not to take no for an answer. If the customer would not like to pay, but I had to convince him to pay immediately, and as much as he could. And there was a time when I opened the call, the customer at the other end was hurling some choices abuses. For example, this customer, if I remember correctly, said, he bought a car and he said, I can pick up that car. He was so irritated, and I can come right to where you are and push the thing. And he talked about a part of my body which I don't want to mention. Okay, he was using abusive language. He said, I can push it in that hole in your body. I can push this car inside that hole. He was that rude. But I was patient. I heard him out, and then at the end of that, I was able to receive a payment not less than $500. And that all our calls get recorded, and there are many calls I'm not proud of I was not doing my best. I can be honest, because even then my heart was in full-time ministry, and I did resign. 2 years down the line, I resigned. But there were days when I was really good at my work, and that call was played the entire flow as an example as to how you can move an irate customer to being a normal customer, and from a normal customer you can move him to be a paying customer. It happened. God gave me the grace, and that was the main job. My company was not paying me to be CEO of G4 Mission, even though I started my ministry even as I worked. We started in February 2006. I was in HSBC till November 2008. So I was, for the first few years of my ministry, I was paid by HSBC, even as I was founder of G4 Mission. But my company did not pay me for being G4 Mission and publishing the Days of Your Youth magazine. It paid me for my core job. And the question was, would I be competent in that core job? So that's the question that we must ask ourselves. Okay, core competence. That's the ninth C. We are using